Hello everyone, welcome back to Susie Saves. If you're new here, hello, my name is Susie. We are a dual income household of me and my husband, and we get paid weekly. So I do weekly budgets. That's just what's been working for us, so that's what we do. Without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into it. So first and foremost, we have a little bit of apologizing to do. I'm quite late on getting this budget out, so I'm sorry about that. But better late than never, so let's begin. First off, this is the first paycheck in August, since we got it on the 1st. We have my income and my husband's income. He is salary, so he always makes the same amount, but I don't, depending on how many days I work. Did work a full week last week, so that's $790 for me. My husband's job pays him $950 a week. Bringing our spending, that's not true. We also have $200 in rollover from the car that we'll be putting towards the Roth this week. So gotta add that in. So this week to spend, we have $1,940. Woohoo! So this is a full week for us, and with the rollover, it is slightly more than it normally is, but let's get into it. So for expenses, we have rent and internet. We live in it's called a mother-in-law suite, I believe, but the basement unit of my husband's grandparents' house. We help them out with chores, a lot of outside chores like landscaping. They have a pool they like to keep up and running, things like that. So we have a lower rent because of that. It's $200. And since we're renting with family, they don't make us pay any utilities, any water or electric or anything like that. We do have a separate internet because they have not great internet. So it was important to us that we got a different internet service. So our internet is about $91 a month, which is $23 a week. After our fixed expenses, we have our variable expenses. So this is groceries, gas. We have a miscellaneous category, and we just added in dining. So these are things that we might buy during the week, but we don't know how much they're going to be. For instance, every day gas prices change. Groceries, this is like more of the top end of our budget. So the most we would like to spend on groceries is what we budget for, which is $60. So if we want to spend $50, if we want to spend $49, those are great. We just can't go over $60. Gas gets $100. My husband's car definitely takes like $50 a week. My car tends to take around $40, but we just always roll that over if we have any extra. Miscellaneous gets $30. I have worked with not having a miscellaneous category before, and it has been not good. So now we always have the miscellaneous category because life happens and things pop up. So dining gets $50. I think right now we're doing pretty good on this category. We've been trying to dine out less, and it's been working really well, so I'm really happy for us. Next, we have subscriptions. When my husband started work, we got him a YouTube Premium subscription, and then we got Netflix not too long ago. Both of these are $20 a month, which is $5 a week. And then we have spending money. So both me and my husband get spending money for whatever we would like to spend on, no questions asked, and that is $50 a piece. Did I give her everything? I think I got everything. So in total, Our expenses are $573 this week. So we're going to move on to sinking funds. These are, some people call them revolving funds or target date funds or whatever you'd like to call them. But basically, I put money aside for a specific use later on. So, for instance, I have car insurance and my phone bill. I'm still on my parents' plans, so I just pay them back at the end of the year, however much it was for that year. And it tends to be like around $650. So if we just take that weekly, it's $13. So every week I put $13 into this fund, and then at the end of the year, I will have that money to pay it. Or you can have something like car maintenance. So, do you know when your oil needs changed? You know, like, the odometer, like how many miles you've driven, but you don't always know when it will actually reach that. You're like, will it be this week or next month or 2 months? I don't know. So I always put $10 into car maintenance. And this ensures that we have money in there for whenever the oil change pops up. Or, like, forbid, there's an issue with the car that needs fixed. There's money in there that's allocated for that. Other than that, we have pets. So this can be for food, flea medicine, lights, anything regarding the pets. It also holds the vet bill. So in February, they go to the vet. We have 3 cats, so it costs, I think it was like $350 last year, but it could be more depending on like what shots they need. So always put money towards that. Then we have gifts. Gifts is, it's everything. So it's graduations, births, birthdays, Christmas. Are there any other things you would buy presents for? Weddings. That all comes out of this gift fund, and it gets $10 a week as well. This just helps us to have this fund. Everyone's birthday is scattered throughout the year, right? You're not going to have all your friends' birthdays on one week unless you get like really lucky. But so this just helps keep money in this fund for whenever that occasion pops up. Also, parties, especially like graduation parties and stuff, can be a little unseen. So you're like, yeah, you're going to school, but you're not necessarily being like, what year in school are you? Are you a college senior? Are you graduating? So it's good to know that we have quite a few friends that graduated this year, and we had that money to be like, oh, shit, that happened this year. Here is some money for your graduation. So next and lastly, we have health. So I take protein shakes and creatine, so that would be supplements for that, vitamins. We also have started to have this be like over-the-counter medications, so if we need Midol or Tylenol or anything like that, and then co-pays and stuff like that. So this is getting $20 a week now. We made that switch, I think last week, maybe. So that brings our sinking funds up to $76. We have 0 debt. We worked really, really hard. We still work hard every day not to go into debt. It's so really, really excited and happy that we are not relying on debt right now. And then we can look at the money left and see how much we have. $1,291. This is a zero-based budget, so every dollar that comes in, we are going to allocate. So we have 0 at the end. So up here in savings, we need to make it $1,291. So let's go ahead and do that. First and foremost, we have a checking account buffer because we have money or bills that get pulled directly out of the checking account. And so those bills need a buffer just in case, especially like internet bills. Oh my gosh. They tend to raise it and not tell you. It's so annoying. So having a buffer in there just ensures that when that bill comes out, you won't accidentally like overdraw or anything. Then we have mine and my husband's Roths. And like I said, we said we would put that extra $100 into here. So that's $300 per each of us. We then have a stock account. This gets a 3% raise that I got back in October, which is $25 a week. Is that right? That might have been right. I doubted myself, but that might be right. Yeah. So there we go. So we have $666. I'm going to go ahead and round that to $665. Put the extra dollar in the buffer. Our buffer is already quite high, so we don't need to put more than a couple dollars in here every week. And this rest of this money goes to our savings. Currently, our savings is for a house down payment, $665. So that's currently what our savings is for, but we'll see how our living situation changes. We might end up renting somewhere else before we buy a house or something like that. We'll see. I don't know. It's my husband's dream to buy a house. I told him it was fine, so we're working towards that right now. Some people asked. We are 26 years old. Well, I'm 26. He turns 26 in November. I don't know if that is pertinent information, but some people were asking how old we were, so there you go. We just got married this year, and we've been together since 2017, so 8 years. 8 years? Almost 8 years. No, definitely 8 years. Almost 9 years. So, yes, we're young, but we just got married, so. Now we're buying a house, probably, maybe next year, maybe the year after. Like I said, it kind of depends on the living situation because we live with his grandparents who are older folks. That situation could change at any time, and we're aware of that. So we'll have to really keep an ear out and see. Thank you all so much for joining in to this week's budget. Sorry it's so late. We're actually going to be closing this out tomorrow, I think. So come back if you're interested in what we spent this week. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Friday, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.